welcome to Sandwich Nightly News. I'm Jack Coast.
And I'm Julia Wright. Our first feature is about international studies, a club run by SAHS's own Mr. Frank. My team of Hunter Brown and Trevor Delfino completed this package.
All right, let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Delaney Gill. I joined IS my senior year.
I'm Harrison Evans. I'm a senior, and I'm roving commission.
Alexander Denmark, grade 12. I joined last year.
I'm Tara McElhinney, and I'm a senior, and I joined IS as a freshman.
My name is Vinny Petraka. I am a junior, and I joined IS in the 7th grade.
I'm Kelly Fitzgerald. I'm a senior, and I joined IS my junior year.
Yeah, I have two sons that came through the programs here at Sandwich. Both were interested in international studies as freshmen. My older son became a delegate, I believe, as a junior. My younger son was probably even more involved with the program. He served as a delegate, and again, when I ask him about his favorite high school experiences, he usually points up to IS.
International Studies is a model United Nations where students play the roles of ambassadors to the United Nations.
Basically, we're an international studies club. It's a model United Nations. We go over, each of us get a country. We debate here every Monday night on topics that we write ourselves as to what we want to talk about in the world.
My name is Donald Frank. I am a history and social science teacher here at Sandwich High School. This is year 30. I started teaching in 1985, and we started Model United Nations in 1985, and we haven't looked back.
What has it been like to lead these delegates over 30 years?
It has been one of the most exciting things I've done as a teacher. It has always been a remarkable thing because there's always been change as new delegates come in and bring new perspectives on what we should do. Every year the delegates take the organization to another level, and they've taken more and more of the responsibility out of my hands and taken it into their own hands, and that's been one of the most exciting things to watch. When you see people take a group like this, create their own vision for it, and start to exercise that vision, it gives them an opportunity to take ownership of the group. And over the 30 years, I've seen that happen more and more every single year.
Can you give us one word to describe Mr. Frank?
Adventurous.
Powerful.
Intelligent.
I'm just gonna say the best.
Compassionate. I think wise.
George Washington. We are one of the best in, I would say, the world. There are under 300,000 in the world of these clubs, where you can consider model United Nations, of which the best of them are in Massachusetts. We have been chosen, Mr. Frank, to run the model United Nations new league almost. Massachusetts has the best programs, and Massachusetts chose us to lead them.
There's a social aspect to it, for one thing. It also looks very good on a college resume if you're looking down the road.
I would say this: if people have trouble with public speaking, we want you. We want you there because you'll have a chance to see people engaged in public speaking.
What's your favorite part about IS?
I like making speeches. I feel like IS has definitely helped me become a more informed citizen and also a better public speaker.
Probably just be able to voice my opinions on different things.
The debates are really fun.
I like getting in fights, and I like when people get really mad.
Like that.
All right, and finally, can you leave us with an inspirational quote?
Oh, an inspirational quote. Oh boy, an inspirational quote. An inspirational quote. Work for peace.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Sandwich High School Model United Nations number 9 is going to take place on May 2nd, 2015. This will be the 9th conference we have hosted. We're probably going to run anywhere from 7 to 9 committees, depending on how many schools want to come. And what happens at one of these conferences is we have committees that mirror what we do on Monday nights, but instead of one topic, we might have 7 or 9 going, and high school students will come from all over the region to play the roles of...
Thanks, guys. Great story. AS has been around a long time.
It has. It's one of the best clubs offered at Sandwich High School.
This next feature is on Mr. Rodriguez, a tech head for the STEM Academy. Jason Mullen and JJ Ferguson worked on this together.
Let's take a gander.
Normal day at the high school, I am the tech integration specialist at the STEM Academy, and that means that I can pull them in a million different directions. So unlike teaching where I'm in one class for the full day doing 3 blocks of teaching, I have no idea what my day is going to be like when I show up in the morning. So I went to Bridgewater State University, graduated in 2012, I believe, with my bachelor's degree in history. And as I kind of went through the kind of applying for jobs in schools, I thought I was going to be a history teacher, went through student teaching, everything. Nothing kind of panned out. So I ended up going back for my tech certification. At that point, landed this job.
About how the transition from high school to STEM is.
The biggest transition has got to be the kids. I'm used to seeing these big, 6'5", 6 foot tall seniors walking around, and now I'm dealing with a very different population of guys who are trying to find themselves, and they're not mature enough yet, in both emotionally and physically. Doesn't mean that it's not still the same thing. I enjoy building the relationships with the guys. They can be really energetic, which is cool to see. Not a LeBron James fan at all.
Really?
Contrary to popular belief. I know it's shocking, but huge Boston sports fan. I know if you guys can just check out those up there. Ignore the Evan Longoria.
Okay.
You gotta check out the Jason Garrett bobblehead. Alright, let's check that out. Alright, got a little bobble there.
So talk about how the freshman football team is going.
You mean the freshman world championship football team?
That one.
Right now it's kind of a tough season. We're 0-6, which isn't the greatest thing that you guys probably have ever heard, but it's good. The biggest thing about freshman football is we want to build upon it, and anybody who's kind of in freshman sports knows that there is no championship, so the record really you can kind of throw it out the window. It's about getting better, and I think that we have done that over the year. We started off with 11 guys, and now we're up to 18. So it's like I said, it's tough to lose a whole bunch of games in a row, but we're getting better. I always thought about when I was in school, I thought that I wanted to be in a leadership position, so I've always thought maybe in the future principal at some point. I'm kind of narrowing that down now to the idea of becoming an athletic director. Now that I've gotten involved with athletics over the last 3 years, I see that the difference that it makes it in students, and just the kind of the impact that it's had on my life. And I just love the idea of leading some kind of sporting program or being some kind of director of something.
He's a pretty busy guy.
Yeah, he is. We appreciate guys like him around the school.
The next feature is on an app called Yik Yak that's been used for cyberbullying. Angela Lorino, Maddie Oakley, and Anthony Lambros investigated this app.
Let's see what they found out.
Yik Yak is just an anonymous Twitter where you can pretty much just say and do whatever you want.
It's funny sometimes.
Just a website where people can just go on and, I guess, hate on each other.
Yik Yak is an app that people use to bully others, and they use to express their feelings anonymously.
Well, when I found out about it, I thought it was just kind of an anonymous app that people, depending on your location, you could just post whatever you wanted.
How often do you use it?
Not a lot.
Once a day, maybe twice.
I use Yik Yak once or twice a day.
I use it every night to check what people are yakking about.
Has your name ever been used?
No.
Yeah, a couple times.
I think it's been used a couple times.
No. Once.
They said hottest senior girls, and someone wrote my name.
How do you feel about some of the posts?
They're funny.
I usually just post random stuff like Dino Nuggets are awesome, and I've never really bullied others.
Yik Yak acts like a local bulletin board for your area by showing the most recent posts from other users around you. It allows anyone to connect and share information with others without having to know them.
Was designed to help college students communicate about shared experiences in college, academically and socially.
It was explained to me that it is a social media site, and on it, individuals who use Yik Yak can post comments about anything that they wish, and no reference to their identity.
I don't think there really is much purpose to it. When somebody can post something anonymously, I don't feel that that you can really take much merit in what's being posted, and I do think there's a lot of misuse. You know, when we talk to kids about using devices appropriately and using your digital footprint at all, we talk about not posting anything that your grandmother wouldn't be proud of.
I don't think it's being used for its actual purpose. I feel like it's being used more to make fun of other people because, oh hey, I'm anonymous, people don't know who I am. I can make fun of this person and they'll never know that it was me.
News, funny experiences, shoutouts, and jokes spread faster than ever through Yik Yak's tight-knit community. Create quality content and receive upvotes from other members of your community.
It shouldn't work on devices used in schools, and it's not supposed to activate in areas where the population is under the age of 18.
I have not had anything brought to my attention yet at Sandwich High School in regards to postings on Yik Yak.
I have had reports from Officer Cabral that there are adults who are a pretty steady presence on Yik Yak, and they're monitoring it, and they are aware that some students are becoming bold on Yik Yak, but I have not had any personal instances that would cause the administration to have to get involved.
You know, I do think that the students are beginning to police it themselves, and I think, by being able to give it a thumbs down kind of situation where enough people are, not happy with some of the posts, and then after 5 posts it goes away.
I always downvote it right away, and usually bad stuff gets deleted.
I'm hearing from those that there is an increased presence among students saying, cut it out, that's not right. You don't have a reason to say that.
They will not allow people to use Yik Yak if they are harassing or bullying or saying harmful things about others.
Until we know that someone is adversely affected by Yik Yak, we wouldn't get involved. But as soon as we do, we have to follow the parameters of the law and protect our students from cyberbullying.
Unless you know for certain who it's coming from, you can't get to the root of the problem, which is very troublesome.
I see the good coming out as well as the bad.
Though Yik Yak intentions were good, it was being used for malicious purposes in the high school community, proving that it's inappropriate for students 18 and younger. Leave it to the college kids to spread.
Very informative. Glad you brought that to our attention.
Another one of the major issues facing teens today is peer pressure. Parker Casey, Brian McGee, Alex Scavone, and Chip Hill completed a story on how peer pressure affects students.
We have decided to do our project on peer pressure in high school.
Dude, let's fail. What do you mean? I missed my English homework and I can't get an F in that class. Let's go. Well, what do you mean? Don't be a wimp. Let's go. Come on, man. I did my homework. No, you're coming. Let's go. Come on. Oh. If I get in trouble, I'm blaming you. Hey, dude. Would you give her number 5?
We're not supposed to be sharing answers.
It'll be real quick. I just need help.
I know, but we're getting both good zeros.
Come on, man. Let me see.
Fine.
Gentlemen, I told you if you're going to share answers, you're going to take a 0 on this assignment. Sorry.
Do people come to you coming with problems about peer pressure?
Yes, sometimes kids struggle with making good decisions around their peers, because sometimes, I think more so kids want to fit in somewhere, so they try to...
Have you ever felt peer pressure at Sound High School?
Yes, I have.
And what was the peer pressure to do?
I was peer pressured into skipping class, but I didn't, so...
Do you think that peer pressure could have like a positive outcome?
Honestly, no, because like if you're being pressured into doing something you don't want to do, there's obviously a reason for that.
Question. Of course, it can have a positive outcome. I think when kids encourage kids to walk away from situations that aren't good, or to do better in school, or to participate in something that's healthy for them.
We did a series of polls, and for our first question, 75% of people said peer pressure had an effect on their grades. For our second question, 69% said yes to that they have been peer pressured. For our third question, 56% said they haven't been pressured in any of our examples. For our last poll, 50.
Story. What's our last story?
Oh yeah, that was mine. Me, Jack Salters, and Dante Lembros did a story about the turf outside. Captain Gerald F. DeConto was a victim of the 9/11 terrorist attacks on the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. The Sandwich High School field complex is dedicated in his honor today. Hello, how are you doing?
Good, thanks.
Good?
Yeah.
Alright, so about the turf, when did you finally decide to put that in? That you're going to put it in?
Well, it wasn't my decision. I started last year in the summer, and there had been a number of groups already much farther down the road in terms of getting the second phase of the stadium completed. So there's a committee that exists, has probably been in existence for 10 years. The Sandwich Sports Complex Committee has been working behind the scenes to find funding and sponsorship and to complete it. So it wasn't a decision that I made. But fortunately, we were able to get the final piece of the funding from the state Senate budget. That was approved, I want to say, this past summer, and that was the kind of final piece. We needed that last 480 or 500,000 to actually put in a synthetic surface versus putting in natural grass. So there have been a lot of people working behind the scenes to get that project completed.
Okay. How do you think the field's going to affect our sports teams?
I think it's going to have a great effect on our sports teams, especially when the lights are connected. It's going to really extend our playing day. It's going to give us the opportunity to play a whole host of different activities out there, and again into the night, which is great. I think it's going to be awesome, not only for our high school student athletes, but for our STEM Academy student athletes as well, who can play, as often as they can. We'll play some sports out there as well for them. So I think it's going to have a significant impact on what we do athletically.
Yeah, so we have a pretty wide variety of sports here. What sports are on the field?
So we inlaid lines for football, we inlaid lines for girls and boys soccer, and we inlaid lines for boys lacrosse. This weekend we'll paint lines for field hockey, as field hockey prepares to play in the tournament next week. So we'll paint temporary lines in the fall for field hockey. We'll paint temporary lines in the spring for girls lacrosse. So in the fall it'll be football, soccers, and field hockey. In the spring it'll be both lacrosses, and then of course we'll be playing, indoor track will be outdoor track I should say, will be using that complex as well. But yeah, we'll have our STEM Academy teams as often as possible play out there too. And then we've got clubs, I'm sure, Ultimate Frisbee clubs and other type of intramural clubs will want access to our fields, along with our PE programs, physical education programs. We use it during the day, so it has a really a dynamic impact on a whole host of groups. So it's really exciting for all of us here.
How do you think the first game on the field went, like girls soccer against Nantucket?
It was great. I thought it was an awesome day. Nantucket was terrific about it. We had special patches made up to honor Gerald DeConto. Everyone wore them. I mean, the visiting team, the coaching staff, the officials. So I thought it was a great day. It was a lot of fun. The weather cooperated, and the field played really well. There's still a little bit of a break in time. We still want some of the infield to settle, and it needs to be groomed a little bit, but I think by and large everyone was thrilled with the condition and the playability, and I thought it was a really fun, exciting afternoon for all of our girls soccer players as well as Nantucket. They loved the opportunity to play there for the first time, so it's pretty neat.
Hi, I'm here with senior Connor Mangelson. So you played on the new turf before?
Yep, I just played probably the last couple of weeks. I've been on there a lot. Just put it down. It's a good time. Just playing pass with my friends. Just put the lights up too, so I like it.
Yeah,
it's nice.
So how do you think it differs from natural grass?
Well, I mean, I like the turf more just because like I feel like when you go down, it's not as hard, and it's like just easier, and I think it just overall looks better, and it's just I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So you're definitely satisfied with the field then?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's still a lot to be done. You know, the surface is in and the lights are standing. The lights aren't yet connected, but we're anticipating them being connected maybe this weekend or early next week if the weather cooperates. And then the next phase is really the stands, both the home stands on the far side, which will be, you know, I think we'll have 2,200 seats, and then a press box, which will be terrific. And then on the other side, on the visiting side, you know, on the scoreboard side, we'll have two sections of bleachers that hold, I think, 240 or so seats. So there's still work to be done before we host, say, a football game later this fall. But yeah, absolutely. I think we're all thrilled with the outcome, and again, just giving our kids the opportunity to play on a flat, safe, dry surface is a huge step in the right direction for all of our outdoor fall teams.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, great. Thanks for.
Okay, you're welcome. Good to see you guys. Thanks a lot.
Look at the toss.
I know a lot of people are excited to see how it turns out.
Yeah, it's been a long time in the making.
Well, that's our episode for this week. Until next time.
I'm Anthony Lambros.
I'm Trevor Delfino.
Jack DeCoste.
Julia Wright.
Hunter Brown.
Parker Casey.
Alexander Gabelli.
Jack Salvers.
Jason Mullen.
JJ Ferguson.
Dante Lambros.
And Brian McGee.